Hello everyone, welcome to this video series on number system. We are discussing factorials. So in today's session, we discuss the concepts around finding the last non-zero digits of any factorial. So let us see what is the process. So basically, there are a couple of processes to find the last non-zero digit of any factorial. So we'll see that. So first of one of them being there's a formula driven thing, sort of a thing, which we see. So suppose we have to find the last non-zero digit of 23 factorial. So the method one says the last non-zero digit of n factorial is given by 2 raised to power p into q factorial into r factorial, where q and r are the quotient and remainder respectively when the number n is divided by 5. So this is very simple and very, plain method, but its effectiveness and use is limited only to smaller numbers. Why? That we would see. And then there's other method which is by the division method or the factorization method. This is also called division method, right? So we'll see both the methods. So we'll solve this question where n is 20, sorry, 23 factorial. 23 factorial, so we have to find the last non-zero digit. So what I try to express it as a multiple of 5, 23. So 5 into 4 plus 3. So here q quotient is 4 and remainder is 3. So what is the last non-zero digit? Last non-zero digit when is given by 2 raised to power p, 2 raised to power q, that is 4, into 4 factorial into 3 factorial, right? So what it would be, 2 raised to power 4 is 16 into 4 factorial is 24 into 3 factorial is 6. Now I have to find last non-zero digit. That would be a single digit. So how do we find the last unit digit or single digit of this? So we just take the unit place digit, right? This we have seen in the chapters on remainders. So to find the unit digit of this product, so last non-zero digit of 23 factorial is basically the unit digit of this number, right? So unit digit of this number is nothing but 16 into 24 into 6. Of this we will only take the unit digits, so 646. So that becomes 636 into 4, 144. So 144, 144. So we will only retain 4. So 4 is the unit, last non-zero digit, right? This is the answer. So this method is very simple, to use, but only thing, its effectiveness is very limited to small numbers. For bigger numbers it need a bit of a modification, and after modification the simplicity of this process goes away. So now we will see method 2 here, and method 2 is actually a universal method and it can be used anywhere. So which is division method. So now it says that you see, division method, I list out the process. It says that, mm, so division method, first step is find the IGP of 5 in n. Find IGP of 5 in n factorial. Which is a question. Second step is find the remainders in respective steps of division, right? And third step will give you last non-zero digit, that is given by nothing but 2 raised to power IGP into the product of the factorials, I mean remainders. So suppose there were three remainders. So r1 factorial into r2 factorial into r3 factorial. Let it be r1, r2, r3. Right. So this will be the last non-zero digit. This is very simple. I mean, it might look tedious, but it's extremely simple, and this can be used to find last non-zero digit of any number. So let us see. We'll just uh, apply this process over 23 only. So right. So method 2 here, n is nothing but 23 factorial. So we will find the IGP. Right. IGP, how do we find? IGP of 5. 5 will divide 23 4 times. So what is the remainder here? That is 3. Remainder we write this side. Then again we will write divide 5 by 4. 5 will divide 4 0 times, and remainder is 4. So what is IGP? IGP is given by nothing but these two numbers. 4 plus 0 is IGP. So IGP is nothing but 4 plus 0, which is 4. R1 is equal to 3 and R2 is equal to 4. Therefore last non-zero digit is nothing but 2 raised to power IGP, which is 4, into 3 factorial R1 factorial into R2 factorial. Right. This incidentally is actually same as what we have got through this method, but this necessarily may not be same as here. So let us see how does this differ. So it will be again same 16 into 6 into 24. So the unit digit of this will be, I mean, last non-zero digit will be given by the unit digit of this product. So this is nothing but 6 here, 36 into 4, 144. So 4 we will retain. So 4 is the answer here. Right. We will multiply the unit digit 664. What comes 144? 144 ka 4 we will retain as a unit digit. That becomes the last non-zero digit of this number. So now let us see. mm, Now we will find last non-zero digit of 76 factorial. So here n is equal to 76 factorial. We'll try with method 1 first. Method 1, we will write 76 as 5 into 15 plus 1. So here q is equal to 15 and r is equal to 1. So last non-zero digit will be given by unit digit of what? 2 raised to power q into q factorial into r factorial. That is nothing but 2 raised to power 15 into 15 factorial into 1 factorial. Now see, rather than simplifying the problem, we have not simplified it to a stage we can calculate manually. Now 15 factorial again is a big number. 2 raised to power 15 is again a big number. So this method has a limitations, right? Uh, though we may again now use this formula over this 15 factorial to find the unit digit of 15 factorial, but again this will be time taking. So better we will go directly to method 2, and henceforth we will be using method 2 only. uh, Method 2, which is division method. So how is it? So we'll find IGP of 76. Let us see how do we find 5 5 15 is 75, remainder is 1. Now further 5 will divide 15 three times. 5 3 is 15, remainder is 0. Right. Now 5 will divide 3 0 times, remainder is 3. So IGP would be nothing but IGP would be this summation, right? So IGP becomes 15, IGP of 5, 15 plus 3 plus 0, which is 18, right? Now R1 is what? R1 is 3. Say suppose 1 R2 is 0 and R3 is 3. These three are the remainders 1 0 3. So that we have taken. So now uh, last non-zero digit will be given by unit digit of what? Unit digit of 2 raised to power IGP of 5, which is 18, into R1 factorial 1 factorial 0 factorial into 3 factorial. So now this is much simpler. Now see, 2 raised to power 18, what will be the unit digit? Again, this we already have discussed in the chapters on remainder, that unit digit of any number also form a cyclicity or pattern just like the remainder. So if we see for the case of 2, it is like 2 raised to power 1 is 2, 2 raised to power 2 is 4, 2 raised to power 3 is 8, 2 raised to power 4 is 16, because 6 we will take, 2 raised to power 5 is again 32. So 32 ka 2 will be the unit digit. So unit digit of the 2 raised to power n is following a cyclicity of 4, right? After fifth digit is same as the first digit. So cyclicity of unit digit of 2 raised to power n is 4, right? So this we can write as 2 raised to power 4 into 4 plus 2 into 1 factorial is 1, 0 factorial is 1, 3 factorial is 6. This further we can now 2 raised to power 4 we know is 6, right? So this term will give 6. So what remains is 6 into 2 raised to power 2 is 4, right? We have broken this into two parts, 2 raised to power 4 raised to power 4 into 2 raised to power 2, right? This we can write separately as 2 raised to power 2. So this is 6, this is 4, and this is 6. So here it becomes again 6 here, 36 into 4, 144. So 4 will be the answer here. So the unit digit of 76 factorial is again 4, right? So this is the answer. This is a very simple method. I mean, no application of any tedious concepts or even tedious calculation, just a basic concept of the cyclicity of the unit digit and the process which we have done. Now we will try to solve this question here, which is n is equal to 500 factorial. We will directly use now the IGP division method. So 500 factorial, we will try to find the IGP of 5. It divides 100 times, 0 remainder. Further, it divides 20 times, 0 remainder. Further, 5 will divide 24 times, 0 remainder. Now 5 will divide 4 0 times with 4 remainder. So what is the IGP? IGP is nothing but this addition of all this. This we have learned earlier. IGP of 5 of n factorial is nothing but 100 plus 20 plus 4 plus 0. So this becomes 124, right? Fine. Now what? After this R1 is 4 factorial, 4, rest R's are 0. So last non-zero digit will be given by unit digit of what? Unit digit of 2 raised to power IGP, which is 124, into R1 factorial, which is 4 factorial. So see, 2 raised to power 124 into 4 factorial, and we know that 2 has a cyclicity of 4, and the remainder also is in form of 4 into 31, right? So I mean, 2 raised to power 124 ends at the fourth power, right? So this will give a unit digit of, so unit digit would be 6. We have seen this, no? Unit digit of 2 raised to power 4 is 6. into 4 factorial is nothing but 24. 24 ends with 4. So this becomes again 6 into 4, 24. So 24 unit digit is 4. So therefore last non-zero digit of 500 factorial is again 4. This is the answer, right? So this is a very simple method. I mean, just you have to remember the steps and the method to find the unit digit of 2 raised to power n. Now next example we'll see, find the last non-zero digit of 5000 factorials. So see, again we will go by, I mean, you cannot apply method 1 here, otherwise that will be futile enough. You will have to, so we will go by this simple method. We will find the IGP of 5 in 5000 factorial. This will go 1000 times 0 remainder. 5 will further divide 1200 times with 0 remainder. 5 will further divide this 40 times 0 remainder. 5 will divide 48 times 0 remainder. Now 5 divides 8 one time, leaves 3 as remainder, right? Now 5 divide 1 0 times 1 as remainder. So what is the IGP of 5? IGP of 5 is nothing but this, right? IGP of 5 is 1000 plus 200 plus 40 plus 8 plus 1 plus 0. So this is nothing but 819, 49, 249, 1249, right? 1249. And what is R1? R1 is 1 and R2 is 3. Rest of the R's are 0. So again, last non-zero digit will be unit digit of what? 2 raised to power 1249 into 1 factorial into 3 factorial. This might seem intimidating, but what we will do, we'll try to, we know that cyclicity is 4, so we will write this as 2 raised to power 4 into 312, right? And then again 1 2, because the remain, if we divide 1249 by 4, it will be remainder would be 1. So this way we have broken this into 1 factorial is 1, 3 factorial is 6. Now this is nothing but 2 has a power which is a multiple of 4. So therefore this will end with 6. This will end with 2. This will again end with 6. So here the answer is nothing but 6 2 is 12, 12 6 is 72. So 72 unit digit is 2. Therefore, so last non-zero digit is nothing but 2. Right, so very simple. I mean, uh, just with an example, further example we'll see. Acha, so now we'll move to another concept. This may not be a very prominent question. This might not be even asked in any of the exams, but just for the concept and in case if it appears, this would be helpful. So herein we learn how to find the last two non-zero digits, right? Last two non-zero digits. So process is very similar with a bit of a tweaking. And see derivation to this process. No, I mean this I can upload another video, but that's not related to the exam matter. So I've not been discussing here. That in case if it's required, I'll post a separate video mentioning how to derive these regions. I mean, here also, I mean, why are we doing so? Why 2 raised to power IGP into R1 factorial into R2 factorial? Why we need give unit digit? If any one of you want derivation, you can post in the comment box. I'll post another video with a proper derivation of the same. Now, find the last two non-zero digit of 15 factorial. So here it is asked about last two non-zero digits, right? So see here also process is same. First we will find IGP. So what is the IGP? 5 divides 15 three times, 0 remainder. 5 divides 3 0 times with 3 remainder. What could those 3 remainders be? I mean, remainders would be 1, 2, 3. I mean, see, 3 remainders means ki on the digit, I mean, 3 we are dividing by 5, right? So on the numbers below 3 from 0, so that means 1, 2, 3 would be here. So now the process says ki the last two non-zero digits is equal to here 12 raised to power IGP IGP into R1, I mean RI factorial into say RX factorial, RY factorial, RZ factorial. What are RX, RY, RZ? This I discuss, right? So in this example, what it would be? What is the IGP? IGP of 5 is nothing but 3 plus 0, right? So it is 3. So this becomes 12 raised to power 3 into Rx factorial is nothing but this 1 into 2 into 3 factorial, right? So 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 3 factorial. So now we have to find the last digits, two non-zero digits. So what will be the last two digits of 12 raised to power 3? See again, here we have seen this last two digits of any power is given by the remainder of 12 raised to power 3 by 100, right? Is this. So how do we find the remainder? This we can write as, I mean, see, 12 square we can simply write as 12 square is 144. 144 will give a remainder of 44 into 12 by 100, right? This further now when we will multiply this two, so it becomes 1244. 12 4 ja 48, 4, 12 4 ja 48, 522 by 100. So here we can say remainder is nothing but 28. So last two digit of 12 raised to power 3 would be 28 into 1 factorial will give 0 1, 2 factorial will give 0 2, and 3 factorial will give 0 6. We retain two digits because we have to find the two last two digits. So it boils down to 28 into 12. This is nothing but 12 8 ja 96, 6 9, 12 2 ja 24 and 9 33. So so here it is 60 36. No, no. See, here my mistake. Here this is not factorial. Here simply it is Rx 1 into 2 into 3. So this becomes 3. So this is 0 6. So it becomes 6 8 ja 48 4 16. So last two digit would be 68 is the answer here. We'll see with this concept with one more example and then we'll close this session. So again it is 106. We will divide by 5. It gives 5 2 ja 10 and 1 is remainder. So what would be that remainder? I mean 525 into 21 is 105. So what remains as remainder? That is 106 is the I mean number, right? So that will be remainder. Now further we will divide 5 by 5, we divide 21, so it will go 4 times with 1 as remainder. So what happens actually, 5 4 are 20, so it will divide in 20, 21 will remain as a remainder. I mean 21 will be the number. Now we will divide 5, it will go 0 times, right? 5 will divide 4 0 times with 4 as remainder. What will be those remainders? Those remainders will be 1 2 3 and 4, right? These 4 numbers will be there as a remainder. So now the process says the last two non-zero digits of 106 factorial. And what would be the IGP here? IGP of 5 is nothing but 21 plus 4 plus 0, right? Sorry, this IGP will be 21 plus 4 plus 0, which is 25. So the last two zero digit will be given by 12 raised to power IGP, which is 25 into. Now I multiply all the numbers individually. So what are those numbers? 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, these numbers, and then this 21 into 21, and then this 106 into 106, right? So this is the way. Now I have to find the last two digits of each of the number. So what will be the last two digits of 12 raised to power 25 is nothing but a remainder of 12 raised to power 25 by 100, right? So how to find the remainder of 12 raised to power 25? So see, this is also, I mean, uh, what can we write? This we can write as 12 into 12 raised to power 24 by 100, right? 4 will divide 12 three times, 4 will divide, yeah. So here common factor or cancellation factor is nothing but 4. So what remains actually is 3 into 12 raised to power 24 upon 25. Now we will concentrate over this part. What will be the remainder of 12 raised to power 24 upon 25? Now see, again can we apply Euler's theorem here, because 25 and 12 are co-prime to each other. So what will be the Euler's to 25? That will be 20. I mean, so any number co-prime to 25, n upon 12, right? N upon 25, any number raised to power 20 by 25. Why 20? Because 25 is nothing but 5 square into 1 minus 1 by 5. So this becomes 4 by 5 square into 4 by 5. So this cancels to 20, right? This we had discussed. So any number raised to power 20 divided by 25 will give a remainder of 1. This is the Euler's theorem, right? So here what can we say? 12 raised to power. So now I just delete these things, erase. So we know that 12 raised to power 20 into 12 raised to power 4, I can write this upon 25, and this would give a remainder of 1 upon 25. So what remains is 12 square, right? 12 square. So basically this boils down to 3 into 12 raised to power 4 upon 25, this whole expression, because 12 raised to power 20 upon 25, the remainder is 1. Now see, it will be nothing but 12 square is 144, right? So 144 would give a remainder of minus 6, because 144 by 25 25 6 are 150. So this will give minus 6 as a remainder, and another 12 square will give another minus 6. So this is 25 upon 25. Further remainder, this will be nothing but 36 into 3, 108. 108 upon 25. So remainder is nothing but 8, right? 8. And common factor was 4, right? Common factor was 4. Here the remainder is with respect to 25. So remainder with respect to 100 would be 8 into 4. So therefore, I mean, what I can write here, remainder of 12 raised to power 25 upon 100 would be nothing but 8 into 4. Why 4? 4 is the common factor here. So this becomes 32. So this 32 will apply here. This is 32. I mean, this was the concept of remainders which we had already seen. So 32 into this becomes 2 3 is 6, 4 is 24 into 21 into 06, right? So this you can multiply, I mean, each other, and then you will get the answer as last two digit as 68. So this is the process we solve the questions of this nature. Though this is not of great importance, this at least the last two digits, last digit is sometimes seen in the exam, but last two digit is I mean rarely asked. I've not seen anywhere. You may find this in some of the mocks taken by the coaching institutes, but again, but it's good to know the concept and be prepared for the exam. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any query, you may contact us, write to us either through comment or even reach out to us on our website. So thanks for watching this video.